Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Heartland Havoc. I am your host, Caleb Long. Along with me is my co-host, who riotously cheered in the streets when he found out that the scourge of the Eagles, Kevin Patullo, got fired.
You should have seen my look. Caleb, I was looking at you like, where are you going with this? Riotously cheering in the
You burned down all
cheering
the
in the
props
streets
next to us, next to our house. Yeah, there was nothing there, but like you just burned it down. That's how happy you were.
Yep, we got rid of
you wished for snow to fall so you could make snow angels in our backyard, and then did snow angels in our backyard because Kevin Patullo is no longer a part. Oh no, there's a chance that he stays on the coaching staff, but he's not going to be the coordinator.
Bro, he's not the coordinator.
But he's not going to be the coordinator.
Not the passing game coordinator.
Right.
If you want to talk about how ridiculous some of those calls were on that last drive, that's a whole other podcast that we can break down.
TikToks, I think, covered that pretty in depth at this point.
But I was like, right away, dude. What did I say to you at the game? Come on, you can't throw it there. You got AJ on the outside going deep. He has to hitch up at 11. The corner's dropping. He has to hitch up at 12. Come back to the 11. First down. Hit him. First down. We're still playing.
The football's not here. For the football is not what we're talking about today. We got sidetracked. Finally, we're talking about basketball. Finally, we're getting caught up on basketball, and this one's going to be another long one, I feel. But we're gonna quickly as we possibly can, go through like the teams in our area, how they're doing, how they're stacking up in all of and single A, double A. You have, well, no, not single A. No, I didn't go through single A. I started at double A.
I see you started double, yeah.
Started at double A all the way up through 6A. And then, yeah, we're just going to talk about them. And I think we're going to first start off talking about where all the teams are in the standings. And then we'll go through individual matchups. Individual games and catch you up quick on those. But starting at 2A, we're going to start at 2A. And there's two teams that we're really following here from 2A, and that is Muncie and that is Montgomery. Montgomery is in the 7th spot in 2A, and they are 4-10 right now. For the district playoffs,
yep,
they normally take 8, right?
They normally fill out the bracket. Yes, they do normally take 8. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. They normally fill out the bracket.
Or do they have to be 500?
I don't know.
No, I think they need to be 500 or need to be that's what it is. No, they need to be 500.
Are you okay? No, continue what you were saying. I have a thought though.
Teams need to be 500, or if they're under 500, they have to be, their power ranking has to be above the lowest team that's 500.
Okay,
that is how it goes.
Okay, thank you. Because I was about to note when Lewisburg made the state tournament a couple of years ago.
Okay, so they only won 3 games that year in the regular season. So they might have filled out the bracket.
They might have filled out the bracket.
They might have filled out the bracket that year. It changes from year to year. We really have to look. You talk about the team, and I'll look up. Yes,
on your fancy schmancy laptop that I told you to get for Christmas. But Montgomery is sitting at 4-10, and then we have Muncie in the number 2 spot at 11-5. Now, Northeast Bradford holds on to that number 1 spot at 10-2, and there's a pretty decent gap between them and Muncie. But at number 3 is Line Mountain, who is 8-5, and there's a decent gap between Muncie and Line Mountain. So it does look like Muncie could stick with that 2 seed. Maybe if some games go their way, they could challenge for that 1 seed. But that is what Muncie and Montgomery are doing in 2A. In 3A, at the top of 3A, we have Ware Run. Now, this doesn't really come as a surprise. They have a lot of talent that's started a bunch of seasons for them so far. Like Aiden McKee is their big man. Very good basketball player. Very good on defense and a good shot. And it makes sense why they're 13-1 and they're at the top, and no one's really challenging them so far. I mean, Southern Columbia is having a great season. They're 10-2 in that second spot in 3A, but the ratings for Warrior Run is at 0.79, which is crazy high. That is super high.
Well, and their only loss was to a school out of Philadelphia in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Schmoka
yeah, yeah.
tournament.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean the last time we talked about them was like before Christmas.
Right.
So we have a lot of ground to cover there. But Southern Columbia is at that 2 spot, and 3 is Towanda at 10-2. 4 would be Loyal Sock at 10-4. And then there's a bit of a dip. It goes down to Mifflinburg at 5, who's 7-7. At 6 is North Penn Mansfield at 7-5. South Williamsport's 8-4. In that 7 spot, Wellsboro 6-5, and then to round it out, Bloomsburg is at 7-6, and then Troy and Wyalusing, some northern tier schools, at 10-11, and then Hughesville at number 12 in 3A. But it is Warrior Run's conference, basically.
Yes.
It is Warrior Run. Yeah. Do you have the answer?
Yes, I have the answer. Okay, so right off of the PIAA District 4 website, for the 2025-26 season, in Class 4A, 3A, 2A, and 1A boys and girls,
Okay.
a minimum of 8 teams will be
Okay.
eligible for the District 4 tournament. The top 8 teams based on the District 4 power rating system, and all teams with a 50% winning percentage or higher will automatically qualify for the tournament.
Okay.
Teams will be seeded based upon their power rating. In the event that a team with a 50% winning percentage or higher is not seeded in the top 8, the team with the 50% winning percentage or higher
Gets in.
and all teams with a higher power rating will be eligible for the tournament.
Oh, so it could be an overflow thing.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Class 5A and 6A will qualify through the District 6 playoffs. That's the girls, 5 and 6A girls. Class 5A boys will qualify through District 11.
Yep.
And 6A boys will qualify through District 2.
Yep.
So that is the update. That's the official word on the playoff rankings. So
Okay.
top 8 automatically.
Okay. And then if there's overflow with some weird numbers, shenanigans happening, then there'll be some overflow. Okay.
Right.
Cool. Heading on to 4A, and this one's definitely a little more open-ended. This one's gonna be close. This one's gonna keep on switching up every episode we do, I feel. Technically number 1 is what we have it right now is Lewisburg at 9-4. Number 2, we have Shamokin at 9-5, and then Montoursville is number 3 at 11-4. But I'm gonna go over their ratings. Lewisburg is at 0.646. Shamokin is 0.641. Montoursville is 0.63. And then right under them is Mount Carmel at 9-5, and they're 0.60. So I mean, any of those 4 could end up being the number
Very
1
close.
seed heading into the district playoffs. And then we have Jersey Shore at number 5 at 6-6. We have Central Columbia at 7-7 with that 6th spot. Danville is at number 7 at 3-10. Columbia Montorville Tech holding on to number 8 at 4-8. Midwest going 2-11, and Milton is 0-11 right now. Tough season for Milton. But heading on to 5A, and they are qualifying through District
11.
with District 11. There's only 3 teams from us, and I mean, well, one of them is Northern Tier. It's Athens, but Selinsgrove is holding on to that number 3 spot. And I will say for 5A, Pottsville and Southern Lehigh, when I checked the website, it looks like they've already qualified. There is a green stripe over them that, I mean, when I copied and pasted over to the sheet, that's there. But I guess they've both qualified. But
well, they've guaranteed 500 seasons.
Yeah. Oh, guaranteed 500.
Play 22 games. That's what that means.
You're so right.
They have qualified.
Okay. Yeah. Because
50%.
Yeah, because 11 is that number. 11 is that number.
Yeah. So, right.
Okay. Yeah. Selinsgrove is at 8-4, and they are challenging that ratings number with Southern Lehigh. They're only Selinsgrove High is 0.63, and Selinsgrove is 0.62, and then Blue Mountain is number 4 at 9-6 with a 0.61. Shikellamy, Athens actually 6-4 right now in the number 6 spot, and then Shikellamy is at that 7 spot at 8-7, hovering around 500 right now, but we'll see how that turns out
I
for
gotta
them.
say, Caleb, that's a pretty competitive.
It is very competitive.
Because even the last place team by power rankings, Jim Thorpe is 8-8.
8-8, yeah.
So wow,
Stroudsburg is 5-9, but they have a better rating because I think they've lost to some really good teams.
East Stroudsburg North.
East Stroudsburg North, my bad. And then yeah. In 6A we have Williamsport as our only representative in 6A, but they are 6-7. Don't say it. But they are if you look at the ratings, they are competing for the first seed. It is close between them and the top 2 teams. Wilkes-Barre is 8-5 with a rating of 6.65. Then we have Delaware Valley 9-4 with a rating of 6.64, and then we have Williamsport in that 3rd spot having a rating of 0.62. So I mean, if they have a late season surge, they could be in that top spot by the time we're talking about the postseason.
Definitely.
But all right, we're heading on to the 2A games. Only talking about Muncie and Montgomery. I'm gonna have Padre take over for Muncie, and then we'll hop back and forth.
Okay, quite a bit of games to cover here since the last time we talked basketball back in December.
I'm gonna say don't give scores. Just go
Nope. Muncie had victories over Bucktail, North Penn Liberty, St. John Newman, Montgomery, Millville, and Columbia Montorvo Tech. Their losses were to Susquehanna out of District 3, Sullivan County, and Warrior Run.
Yeah.
So that's well Muncie's games have shaped up since we last talked basketball on this pod back in December. A lot of quality wins in the Mid-Penn Conference there. Lost the crossover game to Warrior Run against the Hack team, who's very good, and then also lost to District 3 Susquehanna. So I got to imagine they are competing for the Mid-Penn title. I'm not quite sure what those standings look like.
I'd assume so. If I have time before next episode, I'll look into that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. The specific divisions. All right, Montgomery. Starting since we left off with losses from St. John Newman, Hughesville, and Towanda, then getting a win over Millville, followed that up by 2 losses by Muncie and Columbia Montorvo Tech, and then getting a win over Northwest Area, and then losses to St. John Newman and Benton. They have a match that would be Saturday. Have a match Saturday against Millville, and then they have a match on Tuesday. That's Tuesday. The 20th is Tuesday.
20th is Tuesday.
Yeah, look at me knowing my dates.
Start of the second semester.
Knowing my dates.
Sorry.
Oh, the start of second semester.
At high school. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that they do a weird thing where Christmas break is still after Christmas break can be the end of the first semester.
Yeah.
That's one thing colleges do right, honestly. But start of second semester, I guess, and they have Sullivan County on the 20th. So those are the teams that we are looking at covering in 2A. Moving on to 3A.
3A with Warrior Run, the defenders. We have wins over South Williamsport, win over Montoursville. Here's the loss in that tournament to George Washington Carver School of Engineering and Science out of Philadelphia. They lost 77-72.
Lost to the Peanuts. I don't know what
Carver. What?
George Washington Carver.
Oh yeah. Okay. Got you.
You're not thinking. No. You're not thinking of George Washington founding father. You're thinking.
No. I didn't know where the
Thinking of
penis
Peanut Man.
reference was.
You're thinking
I
of
was,
Peanut Man, George Washington
you know,
Carver.
your mother. I thought of Peanuts the
Oh, you're thinking of
cartoon.
Snoopy.
When
No,
you said, I was like, how does
I was
this?
thinking-
How do they're not Linus?
I
Like,
was
how does this
thinking
apply?
Peanuts. I
Okay,
was thinking
yeah, you were
actual
thinking the food.
Peanuts.
Gotcha.
I was thinking
Gotcha.
of George Washington Carver's legacy.
Yes. Okay, that is correct.
Yeah.
Then they defeated Southern Columbia, defeated Bloomsburg. We have wins also over Loyalsock, win over Mifflinburg, win over Muncie, and a win over Hughesville. Coming up, it looks like they're already starting the second half of their division schedule. And on Saturday, 17th is Saturday, correct? Yeah.
Yes.
They will play Southern Columbia at home, and then they will travel to Bloomsburg on Wednesday, the 21st.
Yep. All right.
Warrior Run.
Next up, we do have Southern Columbia. So I think that matchup's going to be really good. That's going to be two pretty solid teams. I mean, I think give me Warrior Run in that, though. But last time we checked in on them, after we last checked in on them, win over Tri Valley, then had 2 losses over to Shamokin, and this might not be right because it says Warrior Run. Hold up. That might not be right. Anyway.
Oh, no, they played him in the tournament. That is right.
Oh, that is right. It just didn't pop up on Warrior Run's side for some reason.
No, it is on Warrior Run side. 12/28.
Oh, you're right. It just okay. The dates are wrong. Okay, that's what it is. Okay. Yep. Yep. Lost to Warrior Run. Then what has been on her win streak since wins over Danville, Hughesville, Central Columbia, Mifflinburg, Bloomsburg, Northwest area, and then Loyalsock. And then they do have that Saturday matchup against Warrior Run. Bit of a maybe some redemption for Southern Columbia, but ultimately it is at Warrior Run, which I think is, I mean, not going to be the deciding factor, but it's going to make it harder for Southern Columbia.
It'll be tougher coming into the Defender Dome. And actually, I believe they're going to play Southern 3 times with that tournament game.
That makes sense. That would
actually, because yeah. Anyhow, that's what I believe is going on. So we now move on and check out Loyalsock 10 and. By the way, also that was all of Southern's.
Wait, first of all, I don't think I updated their win records.
Okay.
10-4. They're Loyalsock's 10-4.
Loyalsock is now 10-4.
I did not update them in the little slidey things.
Since we last spoke, they have wins over Jersey Shore, a crosstown rival St. John Newman, loss in the Battle of the Bridge to Montoursville, the first Battle of the Bridge. I don't know if they call that the Battle of the Bridge. They do in football.
I mean, yeah, you could just call it all the time the Battle of the Bridge.
No,
it's just probably football.
Win over Bellefonte. Win over Mifflinburg. Lost to Warrior Run. Defeated Hughesville. Defeated Montoursville. Lost to Southern Columbia. And now they have a game on Saturday against Bloomsburg coming up. That rounds out the Loyalsock Lancers.
All right. Heading on over to Mifflinburg. Last time we checked in on them, they had a loss to Selinsgrove, rattled off 2 wins against Shikellamy and Lewisburg, lost to Loyalsock, win to Midwest, and then went on a bit of a losing streak, lost to Southern Columbia, Warrior Run, and Shamokin. They have Milton tomorrow and then Hughesville on Saturday.
Interesting. Back-to-back games.
Yes, back-to-back games for them. Yeah. And it says they played Bloomsburg, but they won against Bloomsburg. Okay, I just somehow for some reason did not copy that over.
That was yesterday.
They beat Bloomsburg. So yeah, that's where Mifflinburg is.
Okay. South Williamsport. Again, they have lost to Warrior Run, wins over Bucktail and Lion Mountain, then a loss to Sullivan County, and then they've routed off 4 straight wins here, defeating Midwest, Columbia Montour Votech, Nice win against Hughesville and Northwest area. Wow. A lot of points against Northwest. 86 points they put up.
Mm-hmm.
And now their next game is on Saturday against Benton. So,
right.
Yep.
Moving on to Bloomsburg, they started off with, last time we checked in on them, a win over Benton, then a loss to Shikellamy. 2 wins in a row against Line Mountain and Central Columbia. Lost to Warren, win to Hughesville, and then a little bit of a losing streak for Bloomsburg, Southern Columbia, Danville, and Mifflinburg, all losses. They will take on Loyal Sock in a game Saturday.
Looks like they're having a little bit of trouble in the division there.
A little bit of trouble in the division, but I don't think it's going to get any better because they do have Loyal Sock, and Loyal Sock is a very solid team.
That's right. And then rounding out the teams recovering here in 3A, we have Hughesville. Hughesville has wins over, nice little streak they started with here, wins over Milton and Montgomery, then losses to coal region teams of Mount Carmel and Southern Columbia. Then they defeated St. John Newman, and now losses to the 4 straight losses to Bloomsburg, Loyal Sock, South Williamsport, and Warrior Run. Their next game is Saturday against Mifflinburg.
So that is all the teams in 3A for District 4. Moving on over to 4A. We're starting off with Shamokin. And they started off with 2 wins last time we checked in on them. Wins over Danville and Southern Columbia. And then a loss to George Washington Carver.
Yep.
They're back at it again. And then a loss to Pottsville. And then they've been on a winning streak ever since. They beat Central Mountain. They beat Shikellamy. They've beaten Jersey Shore, Milton, or not Milton, Mifflinburg, though they probably would beat Milton, and Midwest.
Nice little run for the Indians
nice,
there.
Solid run for them. And then they have Selinsgrove next, which that one could be a fun game this Saturday.
That could be a good game. Very good game. Okay, now we're going to cover the Green Dragons of Lewisburg. They have a loss against Southern Columbia. Then they defeated Nativity BVM out of Pottsville. And then a loss to Mifflinburg. And then they had 4 straight wins, defeating Mount Carmel, Milton, Montoursville, and Danville. Their next game is Saturday versus Central Columbia.
Yeah, a bit of a win streak for them happening. Yeah,
and not bad teams either. They
Mount Carmel, Montoursville,
nice
they're both
wins
good
against
teams.
Mount Carmel and Montoursville. They're a little bit up and down, and then they lost to 500 Mifflinburg team in the rivalry game. Like, it's an interesting season there for them so far.
Right. Well, I think there's a chance that after the Mifflinburg game, they were like, we kind of have to lock in now.
Could be.
Which, I mean, it's proven to them. If they keep on playing like this, they'll stay in that number 1 spot because they do hold it currently.
Yeah.
And if they keep on balling out like this, they could lock up that number 1 spot. It's
going to be interesting to bracket.
Yes. And it'll be interesting to see what happens because there could be like one slip up game that could make Lewisburg fall to 3 or Montoursville bump up to 1 or 2. So no, it could get very interesting. It could get very fun in this in 4A down the stretch. And we're moving on to Mount Carmel, and they started off with some losses to teams outside of District 4. Minersville, a loss to them, and then a loss to Dunmore. And then they went on a little bit of a run, beat Towanda, beat Hughesville, and then Tunkhannock. I mean, all of them are sort of like far away games for them.
Mount Carmel, definitely. That's
for Mount Carmel.
A long,
I mean, they're both District 4.
Towanda.
Long trip up to Towanda. Long trip up to Tunkhannock.
Tunkhannock. I mean,
they were all away games.
You can't get, wow, I don't know who said that's good. Anyhow, you can't get much further than going all the way up, Mount Carmel to Towanda, north and south of in District 4, you can't get much difference.
No,
there.
you can't get it. Yeah, much
Too
farther
much
than
more of
that.
a distance.
Yeah, for sure. And then they did have that loss to Lewisburg. Like that started the Lewisburg win streak run. Got bounce back wins against Danville and Milton, and then lost to Central Columbia. And they have Montoursville on a Saturday, which is not a must win game, but it really helps you out if you can do it. Keeps your hopes of maybe getting a higher seed alive, but that's going to be a pretty consequential matchup, I think.
Absolutely. Seems like a big one.
By the numbers, it seems consequential.
Yep. And then speaking of Montoursville,
Montoursville's next.
Yeah. I will cover Montoursville here. They started off win against Wellsboro, lost to Warrior Run, and then they rattled off 5 straight wins. Those wins were Loyalsock, Selinsgrove, North Penn Mansfield, Danville, and Central Columbia. Then they took 2 on the chin, losing to Lewisburg and Loyalsock before winning yesterday against Milton. Their next game is the aforementioned in the last highlight. They're going to be playing Mount Carmel at Mount Carmel on Saturday night. So there's the solid Montoursville team.
Hey, the Milton scored 62-26.
Oh, they reversed it.
Yeah, they reversed it. Isn't that called like a palindrome or something?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. A palindrome score. You don't see that every day. But we're moving on to Jersey Shore over here. Jersey Shore is they got a win off of Milton, then took a loss to Loyalsock, then went on a little bit of a win streak, beating Wellsboro. That's Norrie Christian, and then Central Mountain. And then they took some losses to Shamokin and Shikellamy, and they have Midwest next on Saturday.
Okay, moving on to Central Columbia, the Blue Jays. They had nice wins over Northwest Area and Berwick, then lost to Schick, lost to Bloomsburg, defeated Milton, then 3 straight losses. They consisted of Southern Columbia, Montoursville, and Danville on the 3 losses. And then they most recently defeated Mount Carmel yesterday. And now they have that matchup with Lewisburg coming up on Saturday.
All right, we're moving on to Danville. Went on a little bit of a skid, losing to Shamokin, Southern Columbia, Montoursville, and Mount Carmel. That Mount Carmel game is close. That was a 62-60 loss.
Woo.
Close loss for them. If they won that, they were playing a little bit of spoiler there. And then they rattled off some wins against Central Columbia and Bloomsburg, and then took a loss to Lewisburg. And they have Milton on Saturday.
Okay, this might be the bracket. This is obviously the bracket with the most teams in it.
Oh, it is.
From our area.
There's 12 teams.
We have Columbia, Montourville Tech next. They've gotten some nice wins. Win over Northwest and a win over Montgomery. Losses to Sullivan County, Millville, Juniata. Lost also to South Williamsport and Muncie, with a game against Bucktail coming up for them. The Little Tech kids are doing all right.
Doing decent. Heading on over to Midwest, they got a win over East Juniata, and it's been tough sledding. It's been tough sledding for them. Taking losses: Newport, Mifflin County, Shikellamy, Mifflinburg, Selinsgrove, South Williamsport, Central Mountain, Shamokin, and then they have Jersey Shore. So it's been a rough go for Midwest. It's been they haven't had a win in almost a month, which that is sad to say, but at least they're playing basketball. At least they're playing a fun sport. Basketball is awesome. Basketball is incredible.
It's a little bit troubling that they've lost that much in their league schedule too.
Yeah.
You know, they have to try to figure something out.
Mhm.
Then we're rounding out this 4A games with Milton, the
Your
Black
alma
Panthers.
mater.
My alma mater.
They're
They are
doing-
not playing the way we played when I was in school.
Wait. You didn't play basketball, right?
Up until 11th grade.
Okay. I don't know if I knew that.
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, so I played some basketball.
So I really deviated from, because mom played basketball and you played basketball. I really deviated when I
chose wrestling.
when I wrestled instead of
Yes,
playing
you did.
basketball.
You did deviate. But yeah. So, but that was good. We learned about wrestling.
Yeah, you learned about wrestling, and you've loved it since.
We had fun. It was good. I like wrestling. I knew some of it back in the day.
But that's not this podcast.
Anyhow.
That's next podcast.
Milton losses. Jersey Shore lost to Hughesville, lost to Central Columbia, lost to Lewisburg, lost to Mount Carmel, and lost to Danville or Montoursville. They have Danville next on Saturday. I really wish I could say one of them was a close loss. It looks like the closest loss in that stretch of games was 15 points to Central Columbia.
Yeah.
So hopefully the Black Panthers get it turned around here, and
You need to get on the court.
we'd be doing a lot of running if it was when I played, buddy. When we lost games, we had to
Enlighten
do.
me.
Okay, so we were like undefeated into February my sophomore year.
Okay.
So
Ball
I
out.
was playing JV, and the JV and varsity practiced together, and we lost to Shikellamy.
JV or varsity?
Varsity.
Okay.
JV, if we won or lost, it wasn't
It didn't matter.
super important to this story. We lost to Shikellamy. Coach got us in the center of the court, talked to us, told us to start doing jumping jacks until he told us to stop. We had to count them out.
Okay.
We started practice with 500 jumping jacks.
What?
I am not lying.
500?
500 continuous
500.
jumping jack. We were all out.
That's against like some sort of like more ethical code
This
now.
is 1990,
Yeah,
1989, 90.
You can't do this
So,
anymore.
we
You
were-
can't do this anymore.
We were spread out. By the time we finished, everyone ended up at different spots. We were all away. Like the circle started at center court, but by the time it ended, we were all around the outside of the gym.
Right. Yeah.
That's how we
'Cause we're
started
hopping
practice.
so much. Yeah.
And then we ran a lot. We were doing full court. We were doing a thing called continuous fast break, and the ball.
Okay. That
the
just
ball
sounds like sprinting the entire time. That's
with a basketball, 3-on-2
Right,
fast break
right.
with a basket, and the ball was not supposed to hit the floor. He counted the number of times the ball hit the floor. Then we had to do sprints for the number of times the ball hit the floor. It was the worst practice I've ever been through in my life.
well.
Worst thing I ever did.
I'm glad
physically.
you're able to live to tell the tale.
I am. So
Yeah. You barely made it out of there. It probably felt like
it was something else.
that is
It
crazy.
was grueling.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
It's all right. Yeah. Well, we lost that game. It was not all right.
Okay. Well, how did the team end up doing?
Was that the year they made it? We made it. Yeah, we made it to state. We were in state playoffs playing in a game in Pottsville.
Okay.
That's a cool arena for a high school arena. They
Yeah.
have like an upper deck, like a balcony.
Okay. Yeah.
Going all the way around. It's really
Yeah.
chill. And one of the better players broke his ankle early in the game, came down on another guy's foot and broke his ankle. And when they lost that game. So I don't remember if that's a state quarter. Is either state quarterfinal or state semifinal that game.
Okay. Wow.
It was against a
deep
team.
run.
It was
Deep run.
against a team called Wissahickon from Philadelphia, outside of Philadelphia.
What's the heckin'?
Well, you go by there's an exit for Wissahickon on this Google.
No. I think I remember it.
Yeah,
Yeah. I've
yeah.
seen it before. Yeah.
Yeah, that high school was who we played and lost
Okay.
to that game.
Okay.
So anyhow,
Cool. Well, I wish you were probably playing Selinsgrove, and
Yeah.
that's the next team we're talking about.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, so Selinsgrove rattled off a couple of wins against Mifflinburg and Belfont, then a little bit of a losing streak falling to Montoursville and Williamsport. And then they've been on a bit of a run as of late with wins to Midwest.
Midwest.
Midwest. Yep. I don't know why that was so hard
I
to
don't
say.
know.
Shikellamy, Jersey Shore, and Central Mountain. And then they have Shamokin coming up on Saturday.
They're doing pretty good in the PHAC division that they're in.
No, doing good in the PHAC division.
Yep.
They have. Yep.
Next up are the Shikellamy Braves. They've had wins over Bloomsburg, lost to Mifflinburg. Then they went on a 3-game win streak by defeating Central Columbia, Berwick, and Midwest. Then losses to Shamokin, Selinsgrove, and Belfont before they just defeated Jersey Shore last night, 59-56. What a close game that was.
That is a very close game.
And then they have a game on Saturday against Central Mountain.
All right. And now on to our last team. That's 5. That's our 5A team.
Yep.
Representing 5A, doing a decent job, doing a good job. Now we have Williamsport. Now this is a very interesting schedule for them. Last time we checked in on them, they got 2 wins to start it off last time we talked. Wins over Dallas, and then a win over Thurgood Marshall.
Thurgood Marshall.
Which says DC in it. So
they must be
yeah. Can you look up where Thurgood Marshall is? And then they beat they lost to Central Catholic, my bad. And lost to State College. They've had pairs of 2 wins and 2 losses for the past couple of times. So 2 wins against Dallas and Thurgood Marshall, losses to Central Catholic and State College, wins over Selinsgrove and Holy Redeemer, and then losses to Cumberland Valley and a loss to Hollidaysburg, which was 59-58. That is a close loss. And then they have Harrisburg that's the 19th. So that's a Monday. And we'll see if they're able to get 2 wins, rattle off 2 wins the next time we talk. And that is all the teams that we have for you in this. Hopefully that paints a good picture of where all these teams are. I'm going to be keeping an eye out. I'm going to have an eagle eye on 4A because I think that's where all the fun's going to be. Well, those top 4 teams could change in a blink of an eye. I'm sure I blinked, and between me recording this and posting it, somehow, some way they've switched up, which isn't possible because they only have game Saturday. But you know what? That just goes to show how chaotic I think 4A will be.
Thurgood Marshall Academy is out of Washington, D.C.
Okay.
And they played Williamsport on their schedule. There's a couple Thurgood Marshall High School, so I had to find the right one.
That's legit. What's the ranking? What's the ranking in the DC area?
Rankings.
Oh, it should pop up on like a little side thing, like at the top, but
they're 22 in DC. I don't
know if that's good or bad. There feels like DC isn't like a big area.
Well, and then Division 2, Washington D.C. is not a big area.
I mean, comparative to like a Maryland or like
and then Division 2, they are Division AA rankings. They're 15th.
Okay, so they're a decent team.
Well, they're 15th out of 19.
Oh.
So, in that.
I stand by what I said.
They seem decent. I mean, they have over 500 record.
Okay, they have an over 500 record?
Yeah, their record is 8-6.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
All right. So, for all those Thurgood Marshall fans that are listening to this podcast for some reason, listening to a niche Pennsylvania high school sports podcast, shout out to y'all. Yo, chat in the comments. Tell us if you're a Thurgood Marshall fan. Yeah, but that is all the teams. And obviously, my dad has an enthralling talking time machine
Okay.
for us. Oh, he does. He has this prepped. He looks excited.
Okay. So we're gonna go back to the 80s.
Okay.
When I was a kid. So you had a Game Boy when you were a kid, right? Or no, you didn't have a Game Boy.
I didn't have a Game Boy. That was your time.
That was after my time.
That was around your time. That was okay. Well, like around-ish your time. It came out in '89. Came out in like '88.
Yeah,
Like
14,
Pokemon, and like it was
15.
big in like '96.
Yeah, see that's
That's
after
what
my
you're
time.
talking about.
Yeah,
As
no,
a
you had a
gaming
DS.
nerd,
You had a DS.
Thank you. Thank
You
you.
had a DS. I said the wrong thing.
You said the wrong thing. You played
had a
the card of
Nintendo.
every. You played the card of every older person that is not kept up to date with like video games and just calls everything a Game Boy.
You had a Nintendo. I didn't just call it Nintendo.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah, your new Nintendo. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I was getting Nintendo's handheld product.
Yeah,
That's where
yeah.
I was going.
But still,
Okay, my bad.
My point still stands. Yes, I had a DS.
You had a DS.
And a 3DS.
And you had a 3DS.
And a Switch. And a Switch 2. But yes.
We're focusing on the handheld game.
Yes.
Okay, so back in the 80s, before the Game Boy.
Yep.
Okay. Are you aware of the type of games?
No, I am.
That we had to play.
Yeah, they're like little LCD, like Tiger Electronics.
Tiger Electronics.
Yes, I know the company name. Yeah.
Vision.
Yeah.
Okay, you know that. So
I know that stuff.
That's what I was gonna, but you already know that.
Unfortunately,
so you
I do.
That right.
Unfortunately, I do already know that.
You kind of got the talking time machine.
Okay, yeah.
I was gonna ask, what are some names of handheld sports games? Because I had a
handheld. Yeah, I mean, weren't they just
and a football? They really weren't. They were just like
weren't they just called baseball, football, basketball?
Yeah.
No, I think I remember you dug up one of them. I think, and I played it, and I was like, "This is absolutely terrible."
You had
played Madden on PS2.
You had little figures or little dots,
and then like really big.
They would move around. One of them I played so much that
you broke it.
No, my dad wired the plug that would go in the plug spot because that broke.
Okay.
So he took it apart and hardwired it to it so I could plug it in and play it without using batteries so much.
That's fun. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's ingenuity right there.
So the plug was hardwired to the game. And I could just play the football game all I wanted to.
Awesome.
And then I'd keep stats too.
You know what?
I'd handwrite stats out.
Of course. How am I not surprised? You know, like there's some things that like I realized that there were probably like weird things that I would do as a kid, and like this is the origin. This is my dad on his little Tiger Electronic football game, keeping rushing yard stats.
I had players
and the baseball one, keeping like batting averages and home runs and his slugging and OPS, and
I definitely had batting average and ERAs and wins and losses for pitchers.
And I was over here getting my Lego cars and smashing them into each other and having a whole league around smashing Lego cars into each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all making sense now. It's all connecting. To those of you who see us in the wild and think they're the same person, we're not. I act like my mom more than my dad, which that's a statement in and of itself. But we should have Mom and I on the podcast and just talk. We should just see where that goes.
Yeah, Mom on the podcast.
I mean, that
could be kind of crazy.
We got the guest appearance.
Yeah.
When we were talking about landlines.
Right. We did.
But no.
Mom is sleeping right now.
The thing is, Dad, I am too much of a nerd, and like the internet exists, so I've definitely done my research about it in the past.
Part of it isn't all trivia. We just went down a little time machine and talked about it.
Talked about it a little bit. Yeah.
Talked about it a little bit, but I could, Ron Jaworski had great passing percentage completion.
Yeah, he threw. Yeah,
Great
100%.
completion. No, sometimes
Nice.
they just be incomplete. Or you throw an interception if you didn't see the defender. Sometimes the defender would
Right, because
sneak
you're
in front.
playing in direct sunlight.
Because it would blink funny. Like the
Yeah.
fingers would all of a sudden blink. Like the defense could guess the play sometimes.
So just like Madden. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay.
Like Tecmo Bowl
Nothing's
too.
changed.
They could just guess the play and destroy it.
Absolutely nothing's changed. All right. Well, I've had a blast catching you guys up. I know my Padres had a blast. And I mean, because of how we're recording this and because of how I'm posting this, this is going to get uploaded first. And then I think right after, I'm just going to upload the wrestling one where we talk about what happened in the PHAC championships. So if you're interested in that, please go over to it. Pretty immediately after this one comes up. Watch both. Do both. And it's like a power hour. More like a power hour and a half, more than likely. But
probably so.
Probably so. Hey, go out and watch some basketball.
Hey, take care. See ya.